Don't allow your past to keep you from having a better future.
Today, that man graduated from Washington County's drug deflection program. That's when people are given the choice between treatment over jail when they're caught in possession of hard drugs like meth or fentanyl. You know, we've talked a lot about deflection on this show, especially late last year when programs around the metro were just getting started. So now it's time for a check-in, starting with that man you just heard from. I sat down with him to hear his success story today and his message to those still on the streets. Homelessness for Robert Mahoney lasted 8 months.
I was in a rough stage in my life.
He was first on the streets of Portland before migrating to Hillsborough this past fall.
Every day I had no real purpose, no real direction, no real goals.
Robert used meth and was eventually arrested for possession in September. That arrest happened around the same time Washington County's drug deflection program started. That's when the Oregon law change went into effect, recriminalizing small amounts of hard drugs. Counties could then offer what's called deflection, the option of treatment over jail for people caught solely with possession, people like Robert.
Because I wanted to get out. I didn't know, I couldn't find the resources, and in my psychosis state due to the drug use, I wasn't thinking clearly. But once I was able to, somebody comes along, guardian angel, whatnot, these programs, they point you in that direction, and it's your choice. You have the keys to your own shackles.
Having that moment of that first interaction is, I think, one of the most important parts of my job.
Nick Haskell is also in recovery and leads a deflection outreach team at 4D Recovery in Hillsborough. When police come across someone who qualifies, they text Nick.
I get out there as quickly as I can, meet with them. That's where my outreach takes place.
We watched that happen to this man in Multnomah County on the streets of Old Town back in early September.
I don't know if I want to do it or not.
Why?
Because I want to be out here with my family.
They're not necessarily ready to let go of that security, that a lot of us find in using substances.
Yes, sir. It works.
Since September in Washington County, about 80 people have qualified for deflection. 3 have graduated from the up to 6-month program, with another set to finish next week. So while it's not the answer for everyone,
you can't expect 100% of people for it to work.
Those at 4D Recovery say that doesn't mean it's out of reach.
The architects of 4002, which recriminalized drugs, they built in a treatment-first approach all through sort of the intervention process. So that, let's say 80% right now that's not getting it, a high percentage of them are eventually going to get pushed into treatment through the criminal justice system.
It's very much possible. But you got to commit to the clean, stay focused on the progress, small goals to hit the big, and eventually you will get there.
Now, when it comes to deflection in Multnomah County, the most recent data from the end of last year shows just over 200 people were offered deflection. 141 of them decided to move forward with that process, but just 34 of those people completed deflection. And completion in Multnomah County is defined as the person accessing at least one service referral within 30 days. And here's a look at the services that those 34 people used to complete deflection in Multnomah County. Housing, peer services, and outpatient treatment topped the list.